Grow in your Christian life with audio sermons from Kakra Baiden on your mobile devices on the go. Here's how. Go to Play Store or Windows Store on your Android or Windows mobile devices and search for Kakra Baiden AirPower. Download, install, and instantly access life-changing audio sermons by Kakra Baiden. It's that simple. Kakra Baiden AirPower app, on the go with a word.
This message is brought to you by the friends and partners of Kakra Baiden. Welcome to Air Power with Kakra Baiden, teaching the nations with signs and wonders. Kakra is the senior pastor of the Morning Star Cathedral, Lighthouse Chapel International, Accra, Ghana. Now, today's message.
Hello. Kakra began a powerful series titled How to Deal with Your Enemies. Today he shares the first key to defeating your enemy. Let's join in.
One thing I find amazing about the Bible is that the Bible is like a keyboard. A keyboard has finite keys, about 26 keys. But the music that comes from a keyboard is infinite. We have been playing music for thousands of years. And yet still, we are generating new music from the same set of keys. The Bible is like that. 66 books. But the number of messages that can come from one passage is infinite. It's like a keyboard. Plays on and on and on and on. When you read this chapter, the first lesson I'll be talking about, it talks about how to deal with your enemies. One of the things about life is that you will always have enemies. It doesn't matter whether you do good or whether you do bad. Jesus was a good man, but he was crucified on the cross. Terrible. Why? Because the Pharisees were envious of him. So the question is, since everybody's going to have an enemy, how do you relate with your enemies? Lesson number one. Number one, you must be able to identify your enemies. Tell somebody identification. The word identification, it means to know who someone is. Jesus started ministry. His ministry became bigger than John the Baptist's ministry, which was the biggest ministry in Israel at that time, became bigger than the ministry of the Pharisees. And when the Pharisees heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, they were troubled. Jesus identified them. Pharisees. And sometimes enmity comes from envy. They were envious of him because he had a more successful ministry. So the pastors, they didn't like him. You will think that everybody will be glad that people are coming to Christ. No, they were not glad. Rather, they were thinking about the fact that this man has a bigger ministry and is making more impact. So in life, it's important to label your enemies, lest you mistaken them to be a friend. Jesus identified Judas even before Judas thought of betraying him. He said, have I not chosen you 12 and one of you is a devil? Ask your neighbor, who is the devil around you? That was the mistake that Samson made. She mistook Delilah to be his girlfriend. Delilah was not a girlfriend. She was an assassin. A hired assassin. Judges 16:4, it came to pass afterwards that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. Verse 5. The lords of the Philistines came up unto him and said, entice him and see wherein his great strength lieth. And by what means we might bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee, every one of us, 1,100 pieces of silver. Samson mistook a paid assassin as a beloved. Sometimes you see some men, they are working with some women. They think they are going to marry them. No, they want to finish university. Put your hands together for Jesus. They don't want to marry you. They just want to finish university. Who told you? You are joking. people in your office that you may think are your friends, but they are not your friends. They are your secret enemies. That's why Psalm 64 verse 2, it says, deliver me from the secret counsel of the wicked and the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. As you are telling them everything about the boss, when they meet the boss in private, they say, so and so said this, so and said this. They are using you as a ladder to advance on the corporate ladder. And you two, you say we are friends. We are eating watch together. You are joking. Identify your enemies. Lest they sell you.
Thanks for joining us. Today we learned that the first tactic to dealing with your enemy is to identify them. Join us same time tomorrow for the continuation of this message. Before we leave, here's a praise report to boost your faith in the Lord. Instant business growth. Dear Kakra, I requested for prayer concerning my business and you prayed for me. Just after your prayer, I received numerous calls from clients to the extent that I had to ignore some. The amazing thing is that I got to supply some products to a client immediately after your prayer. My business has never been the same since that day. I give God all the glory.
Thanks for your time. You can contact us, seek counseling, ask for prayer, order today's full-length message, or order books through the following means. Call us or message us on WhatsApp to +233 55 700 9010. Send an email to info@kakrabaiden.org. You can also make a regular call or send a text to +233 20 7575 215. Our office hours are 10 a.m. to 1600 hours GMT. Finally, write to us, share your testimony and how this broadcast has been a blessing to you.